Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Fable, and today I'll be playing Antler. And I'm excited for this one for many reasons. But before we get into that, will my friend, my lovely friend, kindly introduce herself and who she's also playing, who I'm excited to play with. Hee hoo.
It's me. It's Uni. I'm here. I'm excited also, and I'm playing Zan the Wizard Man. And it's yes, I'm ready.
The good magic man. Oh man, oh man, yeah. So welcome to Gray Sweaters and a Haircut.
2 bits.
Yeah, uh, very original joke. Uh, God, I'm so excited for this one for so many reasons. But I had so this takes place after the events of Three Old Men at the DMV, which was DM'd by the lovely Mod Mad. Which God bless Mod for doing that.
Yes.
It was a very fun game. But uh, a certain character of Antler had an epiphany of sorts after that game, and he realized a couple things. And usually when a tune realizes something about themselves, about changing, usually change in personality comes with design changes of a sort. uh
Just how it goes.
Yeah, I won't get into specifics how, as you're about to find out. Hey Uni, uh, Zan has returned home at this point. I imagine it's probably been a good couple of days.
Yeah, yeah. He's been home
Yeah,
for a little bit.
yeah. I want to say it's at least been a week. That way, give him
Yeah.
give him time to readjust being home again, because he was at Ruindel for a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's home. He gets to just decompress and relax, and then he hears a knock at the door.
Which is not too surprising. He gets visitors with relative frequency, but he was not expecting anyone, so
Which
he's gonna go he's gonna go check the door.
I will once again say I am surprised. I'm surprised he gets frequent visitors, not in the sense that people shouldn't visit Zan. They should. He's a wonderful man, and he
Not
deserves visitors.
frequent, not frequent, because
Okay.
yes, you're correct, but it's enough that like people know where he lives. They come find him if they need him, and
Yeah.
so
2 hour walk
he's
outside of town.
yeah.
I'm
It's
not
also
letting that
like
go.
if you're coming to see him, you have to want to come see him.
Yep. Which, hey, you know what? Says that. Which, you know what? That's, in a way, it's sort of like weeding out the weak. I can't finish that. I can't finish that sentence. But anyways, Zan, you when you open the door, you are met with the 7 something foot tall tune that you've come to know as Antler. Uh, However, he is standing there with his hood up, and he uh afternoon
Oh,
afternoon. Are you have I caught you at a bad time?
not no, you haven't. This is a surprise. Um, what?
Yes, I do realize this is sudden, but it is. And kind of glances to the side. You can't see his ears because the hood is actually covering them, but he just kind of glances to the side a bit and just, I likely should have gone to someone else about this, but frankly, I would not know who else to trust in this matter.
Are are you all right?
May we speak inside?
Of course. And he sort of steps aside to let you come in.
Antler briskly walks in and waits for the door to close before he starts uh, reaching up to his hood. But then he pauses and he looks at you, Zan, and he just goes, "I would, I would not blame you if you do so, but I would ask that you try not to laugh if possible.
Um, a- all right.
And then he grabs his hood, and then he pauses again and just goes, actually, how good are you? Are you any good with scissors? I should have asked that at the door.
Antler, you're starting to worry me.
He just takes off, he just, just shakes his head and takes off his hood, and you now see, um, well, you see his hair, and it's bad. It's bad. It's so unevenly cut in so many places, and, yeah, yeah, it's not good. Antler has a really,
um,
really bad haircut, and he is
it,
not. He's not looking at you, Zan.
um, you do hear a sort of choking noise for a second, and Zane goes, oh, oh goodness.
Ruby insisted on helping. Obviously, you can see how well that went.
Um, well, it certainly tells a story. Um,
I can hear it in
here,
your, I can hear it in your voice. You want to laugh.
you asked me not to, and I won't.
Antler kind of
Please
just
have a
like.
seat. I will, I'll
Antler kind
go
of.
get
Sorry.
scissors.
Yeah, Antler kind of just gives Zan a look before.
Dan is, he's like, he's got that look of like, he can't make eye contact, but he also can't take his eyes off of this disaster.
Oh, so it might surprise you, Zan. Antler actually does not look annoyed by this. He is, in fact, not surprised at all because he can't deny that. Yeah, it's hilariously bad. Even he
And
can't
side
deny that.
note, for the folks at home, this is incredible. Abby secretly just rolled performance to see how bad Ruby did, and no joke, she rolled a 0.
I wasn't even looking at that chat. Oh my god!
It's
A
yeah.
zero. Oh my god!
So just try and envision just how much of a
oh,
nightmare this
oh
haircut is
no.
because wow. Um
Oh god.
and
I don't know if I've ever expressed to people at on people in the server know, but I can't recall if I've expressed it in game like about Antlers the thing with Antler's hair
I
because
don't
he
think
went
you have, no.
because just I feel like I need to get it out here in this game because it's involved, but like he went a very very long time with no hair and then he just recently got it back. So he has taken very meticulously good care of his hair. Like this is
I
like
mean,
shiny black, soft, like best. I can't word. He cares very much about his hair. So the fact that it looks like this at the moment.
also kudos to him for allowing Ruby to help with this. Even though it did open up this thing, it says a lot that he even allowed her to try, and this is how his kindness was repaid.
Yep,
Um,
yep, yep. She did try though, and he
she did.
and I will stay on record, he does appreciate the effort. However, it's still really bad because that was a zero. It was
That
a
was
zero. Oh my
a
god.
full on 0.
Oh, that is the best thing ever. Anyways, Antler's gonna go find the nearest chair and sit down. Actually, no, he's gonna remove his cape and place it on the coat rack and then go sit down because he doesn't want hair to get in that.
Um, uh, God, and like it takes a solid minute or so before Zan comes back out. He's a little bit red in the face.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and he has scissors and he just goes, "Now, Antler,
Mm-hmm.
I will be perfectly honest. I have never worked with hair like yours. Ours are fairly different. Um, and I am not sure how much I can do, but I will try." And he's just again looking at it. um,
Frankly, frankly, I'm confident enough that however well you do will be better than what Ruby has done.
oh, don't talk me up too much. Um, okay. Well, he just sort of um stands up, stands behind Antler on the seat and
So tempted to make you roll for it.
I, oh God, it is tempting, but also do we really want to risk making? I mean, it can't be worse, but we do want there to be something salvageable
This
left.
is true. This is true.
God. Um, I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it just to see.
Tell you
Oh,
what. Tell you
that's
what. Do it with
what.
do it with advantage because Antler is actually like hold on. I best walk you through it. I have worked with obviously I have worked with my hair before, so I can at least guide you through it a bit.
Oh,
18.
that
That's
advantage is helpful.
for
And
any people at home. Uni rolled a 7 on the first go,
and then I
so
rolled an 18.
yeah, so
Yeah.
much
I
better.
mean, it is being a bit generous considering, he has worked with his hair, but how recently has he worked with it?
Wait, who? Antler?
Yeah. Has he actually like given himself a haircut since he got rehydrated?
Here's the thing. No, he's maybe just trimmed the ends, for dead ends and whatnot to keep it healthy. But other than that,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but you gave me advantage and you can't take it back,
I'm not.
and
I have
so
no intention of taking it back. I'm not.
yeah.
I refuse. You can't make me. Plus, this is our game. We
And
can.
and so I think Zin, like, he's a little hesitant, a little anxious at first because he suddenly feels an immense pressure. Like this is the most weight that has been on his shoulders in a long time. But once he actually relaxes and gets into it, things start going sort of smoothly, and he begins sort of like it. You guide him through the first bit of it before he sort of falls into the rhythm. Um, and Antler, I mean, we can guess how the experience again went with Ruby. But Zan is just sort of very gently nudging your head this way and that so he can get a better angle at what he's doing and sort of just
Mm-hmm.
uh you get moments of sort of his hands on your head and in your hair and brushing over your ears, and this is a
It's yeah, it's very much so, which is this is where I make a roll and I don't know what roll to make cuz I could either
Mm.
I feel like it should be a deception roll cuz he's trying to
Hmm.
just like I don't want to say play it cool, but that's kind of what he's trying to do at the moment.
Yeah, yeah,
So you know
yeah.
what? Let's just do a deception roll. 9.
That's not great.
Yeah, yeah. So Antler it should come to no surprise that Antler's got trust issues. Antler's not let anyone with any sharp implement near him ever. Not purposefully, but not only has he let Ruby done so, he is also now letting Zan do so, and Zan is being very gentle, which Antler gentle is still a thing he's not used to, and Zan from where you're standing, you don't see his face, but you do every time you move. Just every every movement you make, every time you just see Antler's ears twitching this way and that. Sometimes down, sometimes they're just turning to when they hear the cut the scissors make, and other times they're going a mile a minute. He's
Think that like as a result, Zan has to go very slow because he doesn't want to accidentally nick them. Um, it is a different experience having that whole extra part of the body just sort of out there next to the hair.
yeah.
And after a moment, Zan finally sort of he's had this in the back of his head since you got here, but he didn't say it before because they needed to at least get this far. And he goes, "So, so you came all this way for this?"
Yes.
I, I mean, Antler, I just, it's a very long distance of travel. I know, not as long for tunes, but couldn't you have Chenka or the doctor or someone take care of this for you? I mean, I am not exactly a stylist here.
uh, you see Antler. I failed that deception. I'm going with that. But you see Antlers. Uh, they perk up a little bit, and they just stay there for a good long moment before they slowly droop. And you suddenly realize it hadn't occurred to Antler to ask those people that you might have been the first person that came to mind.
Oh man, so much. Um, and that he just sort of lets that hang for a moment as they both sort of sit in that realization of like, wow.
To be to be fair, I do not. One, I have the feeling the doctor would have much preferred to run experiments on my hair, which I don't think I'd have felt comfortable with. And Jenka most certainly would have laughed for a very, very long time.
Well, um, well, I am still, I confess, a bit flabbergasted, but
I.
I'm glad I came to mind, I suppose.
Hmm.
Um, and he again just sort of like he pushes your head forward a little bit so he can, do some more snipping, and he goes, "There's, I'm sorry, the back here is." pretty much salvageable. I will have to cut it very short. I'm sorry.
No, no, I was intending it to be. I was intending to cut it short anyway, so it's the only
Um,
reason I allowed Ruby to help in the first place.
may may I ask what brought this fashion departure on?
What a way with words. Well, to be. And you actually see him, uh, you actually see him reach up and take a strand of hair that's yet to be cut short, and he just kind of twiddles it in his fingers a little bit, or just twirls it between his fingers for a moment. I've, for when, for the times I've been alive, I've always had it long. I, and considering the changes I've been deciding to make to my life, I thought perhaps a change of style was long overdue.
Well, I hope this hasn't soured you to the notion.
Hmm. To be honest, no, not really.
Hmm.
I am surprised you managed not to full out laugh. I certainly did when I saw the results.
Well,
Thank you.
yeah, sure. You did ask.
I
I
feel.
think. Hmm.
Oh, go ahead. No, no, go ahead.
I think. Well, I think a change will be good for you.
Let let us hope. I. Hmm.
Did you know you have a mole back here?
What? What?
And you feel like a little poke, as in, yes, right there.
And you just kind of see him like you actually see like a full like. God, I'm guessing that poke was in the back of the neck, huh?
Yup.
God damn it. Not even gonna make a save on that. Zan, you see a tunishly full body shiver uh, go down Antler. Ugh. And then a pause. A very long pause.
It's said like he realizes a second late what just happened and what he did. Yes. Well, I just thought it was interesting. Sorry.
No, no, it's fine. And he kind of just awkwardly reaches back and just feels on the spot you poked. I was not aware I had a mole back here.
I mean the things about it yourself that other people do.
Oh, you cut out there, Uni.
Oh, I said it's funny the things that about yourself that you need other people to point out for you.
Hmm. Funny indeed.
Um, and I imagine for a while they're just sort of like quietly going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as in snips it away. Uh, and after a bit, he says, hold on, let me see. And he like comes around to the front and sort of again like previously as he sort of like gently nudged your head around to get at different spots and um says he like reaches again then pauses and lift your chin a moment please.
Oh. Uh, as you were coming around, you realized Antler had actually had his eyes closed. He opened them again when you came around, but he had them closed for a while. Uh, but yeah, he lifts his chin, bit awkwardly. He still looks a bit tense. Not gonna lie.
Understandable. um Zan um he sort of looks Antler over and sort of like paces like a step or so to each side to look at. He goes, "Oh, it's not worse. I'll give myself that. Um,
I feel there's a but there.
uh, is it is it all right if I touch the the antlers? I there are bits around there that I can't quite get at without they're sort of um
Tunishly blinks for a moment and actually looks up at his antlers, and there's definitely a hesitation there, but eventually he gives a very small nod.
um and then he sort of like he doesn't go around the back because he's got the back pretty good, but it's the sides that are a little bit fiddly with those there,
Yeah,
and they're still a little bit fuzzy from growing back. They have not yet shed their gory velvet. um, and as Zan sort of goes through that part of it. He says, they're growing back much faster than I expected. Well, I should have known. You are not a typical deer after all.
well, certainly not. I know these have always grown back quickly. Small
I was
favors,
a
I
little bit
suppose.
worried when I
Hmm?
was a little worried when they came off. Well, you rather branded yourself around them.
Oh, hmm, that is true, I suppose. Hmm. Seems to be he glances to the side, which you recognize as him looking towards his antlers, and he's thinking. To be
And
perfectly
then
honest, I
go ahead. Sorry.
well, you were inside my head, so maybe you already know, but I I did not pick the name for myself.
Yes, I do recall. You were not fond of the name in your youth.
Hmm. It was less it was less about the name itself. I do not mind Antler, but I suppose what annoyed me was that no one got it right.
And he's God, he wants to ask, but he's so unsure how to put it. Um,
I think Antler actually looks at Uzan and kind of sees the uncertain expression. You kind of just see him curiously raise an eyebrow at.
does that mean you would actually prefer to be called by your old name?
He blinks again. He thinks about it. I I had been giving it some thought. I do not
Well,
think I could fully. It would be foolish to think I could fully part myself from the name the Antlered King. That is, there's too much there to even think of removing, but perhaps it would not be a terrible idea to bring back a bit of Ansel. And he kind of he there's an expression on his face when he says the name, because I think that's the first time he has said it out loud in a really, really long time. And he's kind of realizing that.
yes, well, I think there's a lot of room to to figure out how much of Ansel you want back.
This this is an odd request, but this is a very so actually yes, this is a very odd request, but I feel the need to ask it, especially if I am to truly consider going by that name again. I and he kind of actually raises a hand and kind of just rubs at a temple a little bit as he's actually trying to figure out the words to this. It's taking him a second.
Then pauses in his snipping to give Antler a moment and just sort of waits curiously.
There's I had gone by Antler, the Antlered King, and because that is what I would not know if I wish to be called Ansel because I am not because no one has referred to me by that name.
Well, how about this? You wait here just a moment. Um, and then steps away for a moment, retreats out of the room. And after a very short wait, he comes back with a small hand mirror and hands it over and says, "Well, Ansel, what do you think?"
Oh man, he takes the mirror and he looks at his reflection. And oh man, I'm trying to think of what the look on his face is. And I think it's definitely one of someone who is who is looking at a reflection that they don't recognize, or they do, or they do and they don't at the same time. Like it's one he hasn't seen. Like it's a reflection he has not seen again in an incredibly long time, but possibly for the first time in his life, he is. It doesn't bother him to see this reflection again. And I think after he takes that moment to recognize himself, Ansel will lift a hand up and kind of fuss with the new bangs a little bit, turn his head this way and that just to check over the new hairstyle. Hmm. For someone who has not handled my kind of hair before, you are not too terrible, or did not do too terrible. Ugh. Hmm. Yes, I think this will do quite nicely.
Then he smiles and
And
well,
think God, I have to. And Ansel will look from the mirror to you, and there is just the he doesn't he's not a big smile person, and you know, on anyone else it really would not look like a smile, but on him it's a decent smile on his face. But then a thoughtful expression appears, and he now looks Zan up and down, and another bit of realization. Is that the only
uh,
sweater you own?
beg pardon?
I've just realized I don't think I've seen you in any other shirt except that gray sweater.
Oh, of course I own others.
You own multiple gray sweaters.
Well, um, yes, uh, for practicality's sake.
Practica. Are you certain you are not a toon?
It's a habit I picked up.
That is fair, but you have you have clothing in other colors, I would hope. I would assume.
Um, well, some for special occasions when, you wear the wear a robe all day. It hardly matters what you wear underneath.
Antler takes a sharp breath and stands up. Right then. Well, I think I know what I'm going to do to repay you. Tell me what hmm. I have not seen the clothing shops in cinema, but I'm sure we can find something. And Antler's gonna start heading towards the. He's gonna place the mirror down on the chair he was sitting in. He's gonna head towards the coat rack to get his cape.
Hold on, Ansel.
Hmm.
I please.
If this is
I mean, I'm.
if you are about to say something along the lines of "Oh no, I do not need to be repaid. This is what friends are for," no, I will not hear it.
No. Please take this in the kindest way possible. I have only ever seen you in dark red. And I don't know how great that color would look on me, but it's I
You
appreciate
you assume
your
I'm going to get you things only in red.
I'm simply saying that well, I wouldn't say we're at the same place in terms of fashion. You certainly have variety with your red, but I a color scheme of gray, it suits me fine.
Hmm. Then perhaps I will get some new colors as well. Come along. Come along. It's a 2 hour walk, and I may as well get it over with now. No friend of mine is going to be wearing only gray.
Look fine in my robe, but at this point he's just like he's smiling and kind of incredulous and is um sort of going to put on some proper walking shoes and just sort of shaking his head of goodness, what a day this has become.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, as you're talking, Ansel again is not he's you're not gonna turn his head on this. He's no, just no. Listen, Tune, real kind. You gotta have variety in your wardrobe, just a little bit. Not just for special occasions, but like yeah, sure, Zan, you do wear the same coat over it, but like doesn't matter if other people see it. It matters if it does matter about you enjoying it. And Ansel refuses to believe that. You know what? No, he thinks that you could enjoy having some more color in your wardrobe. He thinks it will benefit you. So he's going to take you clothes shopping whether you like it or not.
And he tried very hard to suppress the laughter upon seeing the hairdo, and with this he is like he's not holding back. This whole thing is feels very silly to him, but also uh, it's very charming also. Like this is the thing that Antler cannot abide by. Ansel cannot abide by this.
Yeah, Ansel now, baby. God, that's gonna God, that's gonna take time getting used to.
It absolutely is, and I love it.
But yeah. Oh hey though. The nice thing is that at least we could do a scene transition to cinema.
We can, but they can't.
I mean, Antler can try bring Zan along through a scene transition. He is a tune.
He can try. We'll see how it goes.
How does it go?
God, I have like I've been pretty much like real kind. It doesn't really work when you try to get them in on
I feel like it could, but
gags
the
like
real kind
that.
has to make some sort of save to not be too disoriented.
Yeah, I think it would have to be probably a constitution save just because it is a severe amount of disorientation.
Do it, do it. Roll a con save for the old man.
11.
Oh no.
He, yeah, you, like, they probably get, I don't know, 15 minutes away from Zan's place before Antler finally starts pitching a hissy fit. Sorry, Ansel, it's going to take time.
No, no, trust me. Right there with you. Guys, yeah, no, 15 minutes and Ansel's once again just like, really? 2 hours. 2 hour walk.
I mean, it affords me my privacy, but
I,
it's not as though there's another way to get there right now.
I suppose, but that's 2 hours of having to carry groceries back and forth.
Oh, I have to keep fit somehow.
No, I can't. I do not have the patience for this. We are doing a scene transition. And he just snaps his fingers and
Oh my gosh.
and it
There's
cuts to black. Snaps his finger. You hear another snap, And voila, they are now at cinema.
And he literally like has to like take a second. He like staggers and like has to sort of brace himself against a wall and sinks down a little bit of um
What? What's
uh,
wrong with you? You're right.
little little more warning if you have to do that. Okay.
Are you not? Are you telling
I'm
me
fine.
you've lived how many years with tunes and you are not accustomed to a scene transition?
I walk places, Ansel.
Yes, you walk 2 hours from your home to town like a madman.
Ansel, I need you to not have this argument with me in this precise moment, all right?
Very well. Do you need something? Water?
Just need a second to collect myself. And he just sort of like sits there and just takes some deep, deep breaths and goes, I don't dare.
Hmm?
Okay.
What?
Not you. We're fine. Everything's fine. Uh,
We?
where were we?
No, you know what?
Literally, where were we? We're, this is not the angle I usually come into town from, so I'm
Oh,
not immediately certain.
Antler does give Zan a look. Because he definitely caught that. But you know what? Nah. He could ask. He's not gonna. Later.
One day,
If
one
Zan
day
wants. If
he'll get
Zan
an
wants to.
answer.
If Zan wants to tell him, he'll tell him.
Mm-hmm.
But, anyways, back to. Right then. Hmm.
And we could just sort of be like, and they get to a place to shop.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Zan's ears are. Zan's. God damn it. Ansel's. Ansel's ears are perked up when you walk into the clothing store. He is looking around and seeing what this store's got to offer.
um, and I mean, the cinema is, sort of a touristy town. There's plenty of places to go for both functional t-shirts and you know souvenirs and walking clothes and so on,
Mm-hmm. I think as
which you probably could guess, which parts Zan has been shopping in. But
yeah.
there are also nicer shops, and places that Zan has very rarely set foot.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Antler will take it. Antler will. Antler. God damn it. Ansel will take it to. God, this is gonna take me a while. Uh, Ansel will take into consideration what shops are obviously the one that Zan goes to, which seem to be comfortable but bland.
Hmm.
If I'm guessing right.
Very much so.
Yeah, and and then he looks at shops that he himself would usually go for, which is would be like high end fan, fancy fancy clothes. He's a fancy guy. Fancy clothes, but probably not of the comfort level that the wizard does. So I think he's gonna aim for something that's a bit in between.
Hmm.
Nice looking, but comfortable.
Yeah. It's both you know, practicality doesn't have to be boring. You can still look good while being practical.
Exactly.
Um,
Like I
and
want, like, hey, I wanna just shout out right now to what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing like a pastel rainbow sweater right now. That is one. It's very pretty, but it is also super comfy and warm. So, ha. But anyways,
the hot fashion tips from Fable.
hot fashion tips from me. Wear what you like. Wear what you like, folks. And if you do like wear, and if again, this is no judgment on Zan for wearing the same color. It's just it's good to have variety.
It is. It is very good to have variety.
I'm not
Um,
if gray is what you want to go with, dude. Rock on. But don't be afraid to have just like a little bit of variety in there.
um, and I think there's a little bit like as you're looking around, and is that he's, a little bit sheepish about it. Ha ha, ha, yes, I get it. It's a joke. Um, but genuinely he's like he's smiling going along with it, but also there's a little bit of that awkwardness of like, oh, he's gonna drag me to all these fancy expensive places. And as you actually like take sort of stock of what the options are and lead towards a place that's, a little come closer to his comfort zone, there's a bit of just like, oh, um just a quiet sort of appreciation of like, oh, he's not just taking me where he wants to go.
No, he's doing this to get Zan something, so it has to be something that Zan likes.
Yeah, he just well, maybe he didn't expect that amount of consideration from you.
Listen, Antler's a fancy guy, but he understands better than anyone wanting having to wear clothes that you're comfortable in. It just so happens that the clothes that Antler likes and is comfortable in are very fancy. Anyways, once they go into the store, Ansel will be asking Zan questions along the lines of just like, all right, so obviously gray and blue are colors that you like, but what other colors would you find yourself agreeable to wearing?
I mean, I consider myself pretty flexible. I don't have any especially strong case. I'm sorry. I know that's not really what you were hoping to get as a guiding answer, but
Let's try this. Well, let's try this then. And he will take two shirts from a rack. One is I'm gonna say soft, maybe cream colored. The other is bright neon green. Do you prefer harsher color or softer colors?
uh he like has to consider for a second just to be like, can I even process wearing that? It's like, I think something a little more subtle is my speed.
Hmm, very well. And he puts the neon green back. He does actually check the cream colored one and actually does that thing of holding it up just so he can see and goes like, mm, "You might want to try this." And he will hand it to you.
And Zed will sort of sling it over one arm. Um, and he goes, "Do you have any particular thoughts about what you might look good in other than, crimson?"
Hmm. I'm not sure. I am not sure yet. I imagine I am keeping an open mind, as it were. I imagine if I see something I like, I will have a, I will try it on and see if go from there.
Makes sense.
Hmm. And he's
Uh,
kind of going along the shirts, just looking at them, just going, hmm, too bright, too bright. Oh god, this is bedazzled. Nope. Actually, mm, no, too much. Too much noise. He's kind of just out out loud, quietly saying, just commenting to himself on the different shirts. Occasionally, we'll hold one up for Zan to look at to see if it's something that Zan would like.
It is just sort of watching kind of curiously for a moment, and is continually sort of surprised whenever Ansel actually asks his opinion on something. Um, uh, but is sort of starts getting the vibe of it, I suppose, as they go along. Um, starts, picking out stuff for himself. Um,
Which was
and
Ansel's plan from the start. He had to
oh, you devious man.
he had to do the same thing with Ruby. Which once Zan starts being able to pick stuff out for himself, Ansel kind of not takes a step back, but he starts kind of looking at other stuff for himself. More than once, you see him looking towards the dress aisle. Hello?
Second, and like he sees where the glances are directed. He goes, well, you don't need to hold back on my account.
Hmm. Very well, just if I see any gray. He actually points at the shirts that Zane is currently holding. If I see any gray in here, it had best be for a good reason. And then he's going to head over towards the dresses.
Zed just sort of snickers and goes about uh, his search, as it were, um, quietly muttering like, "I don't want you. Don't even wear clothes. You have no say in this." um, and yeah, I think they probably separate for a while to do their own separate hunts before, I guess, reconvening to show off their finds.
Yep, I imagine they meet up probably at the God. I keep forgetting what it's called, but it's the place where
The
people,
checkout.
not the checkout, but the
Oh, the dressing
yeah, the
rooms.
dressing rooms. God, words,
Words.
words. But yeah,
How do they even?
I don't know. I don't know. But Ansel's got to no surprise, there are a few there may be one or two bits of red clothing in there. Not the same shade of red that he usually does, but the rest of it is actually a few different colors.
Hmm.
And he does look at Zan's just for a moment. Just he does search for gray a little bit. Is there any gray?
Zan, he held true to his promise and has mostly stuck to still fairly neutral tones, but there's like a nice sort of lavender in there and some periwinkles,
Aw.
that sort of look.
Ansel tries to refrain from giving an. There's an approving flick of his ears, but he tries to refrain from saying anything because he's aware that it's not that his approval should not matter on this completely,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he's aware of that. But also, he wants to make sure that Zan actually, the point of this is so Zan has variety in his wardrobe.
Right. And I think Zan again, he looks a little bit awkward, a little bit nervous as they sort of reconvene and goes, "Well, I think I've come up with something that's all right."
Now to see, well, I have found a few things as well, but won't know if I like them until I. And then he just, you know, looks over at the dressing stalls.
Uh Ansel, if I'm being honest,
Hmm?
part of the reason why I've sort of stuck to the same look for a while is well, I'm not very good at knowing what I look good in. Um, so uh, I may need a little bit of advice in terms of what works or not, if that's all right.
I do not mind giving advice on this matter. However, I am. What matters most is that you like what you are wearing.
I mean, yes, of course. I mean, I liked the gray sweaters, and you seem to have a strong opinion about that. So, um,
I do not think there's anything wrong with you liking the gray sweaters. However, I am. To only have gray is to be. As I actually cannot think of a. I cannot think of a kind word to say about that, but. Well, just as I am looking to add a bit of different colors to my style, I think it would benefit you to have a bit more color in yours. And and before you can ask anything else on the matter, he's gonna quickly, as soon as the stall opens up, he's gonna quickly just walk into one and close close the curtain. Because this conversation is weird, and he doesn't actually know how to.
um, said he just sort of stares after for a second before just sort of blowing a hair out of his face and treating into um, another dressing room.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they're very awkward in their own fun and special ways.
So awkward, so awkward.
Um, I imagine whatever Ansel comes out wearing, he looks great.
Oh yeah, he comes out wearing the red dresses first.
Of course.
Red dresses
He's
first, because
gotta he's gotta keep some of his aesthetic.
yeah, yeah, and he has a look, and he has a look at them. I think he mostly chose these actually just to actually he might get one of them just because he one of them he actually does really like how he looks in it, and he's just like, hmm. All right, yes, this one will do. What about Zan?
And he takes a little longer, not just due to him being like kind of awkward in general about this, but also just because like that's the issue with going super simple all the time. It's like, oh, buttons and clasps and oh god, cuff buttons are the worst. Uh,
Cuff
you
buttons
only
aren't
are
that bad.
able you can only do it with one hand, and if it's not your dominant hand, then it's a nightmare.
Oh,
um,
I mean,
uh,
that sounds like a you problem. I don't have that problem.
but he
Then
does
again, I'm used to wearing then again, I am used to wearing button ups. So is Antler, so he doesn't understand this problem.
even when Zan was in the military, it was somewhat simple clothing. It was about looking wizardly and cool, but didn't exactly evoke high society.
Mm, mm. I imagine the first couple outfits Zan comes out in. Antler will do a walk. We'll do just a walk around, just like just adjusting here and there, and yes, and okay, he doesn't understand why the cuff buttons are annoying. But if they annoy you so much, these are shirts that you can just roll up, and they still look very nice at rolled up. But he also asks
Yeah.
questions of like is it comfortable? Lift your arms up all the way because you want to see how just how it fits. Move around in it. How does it feel? He also checks the tags to see the to check the material because that's also very important.
Hmm. And you know, Zan again being someone who these days is a bit of a homebody. He's just like he enjoys the sort of the soft sweaters and comfortable things, but he also like I don't know, as he gets a little more emboldened, especially seeing Antler come out with all the verve and confidence. Um, he's trying out not soup loathing, but stuff that is not purely the form over fashion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, and
What would you say is the outfit that Zan comes out in and looks in the mirror and kind of goes, oh? Because I feel like
hmm,
there's always that outfit, that I feel like we've all had that outfit that we found at the store. We try it on, we look in the mirror, we go, oh, and are just immediately yes,
hmm, hmm.
in some way or another. What
I
what would you say that outfit is for Zan?
I think Zan just like has this moment. It's not the most complicated outfit, but it is sort of like how to describe. It's just a sort of simple like button-up shirt and vest kind of look where he just like takes a look and he's like, "Huh." Mm,
I think you hear from one from behind the curtain because Ansel's still getting changed. Huh? What?
uh, nothing. I'm just, hmm. I never really got the point of what vests were, but
Other
sort
than
of
they're
looks
very,
good.
other than they're comfortable.
Hmm.
I think so at least. And that's when you hear curtain gets pulled back and Ansel steps out and steps out in his new dress. Give me a sec. I don't know which picture to put up now that I think about it.
Hmm.
I made several pictures beforehand, and people have seen and people at least on the server have seen these pictures. Ah, you know what? You know what? I know exactly which one I'm gonna put up because I feel like it's fitting.
Hmm.
As soon as I can find it in the folder, there it is. This is what you get people for not readying pictures beforehand. But for people who don't see it, uh, it is a dark purple dress with a black vest. I don't know how to describe the sleeves. I don't know what kind because I don't know what those kind of sleeves are called,
Hmm.
but they are the
There's
kind where they're poofy up to the elbow, and then they are skin tight. And I don't know
hmm.
what those sleeves are called. I
Oh,
don't.
I wish I'd prepared a picture of Zan's look, but yeah.
But yeah, it's a dark purple dress with a high waist with golden rose embroidery pattern along it. Plus, the vest that is on top is a high neck with open back, and a bit of a I don't know what to call it at the front either. But there's a
The
bit like
clasp.
just like a bit of opening over the
It's a
top.
boob window.
It's a boob window, but I don't want to call it a boob window because that kind of takes away from the moment. Because there's no fancy way to say boob window.
We've tried and we only got worse and worse
It got
answers for our
worse.
efforts.
It went bad. I'm not repeating that for the recording. You can't
No,
make
no,
me.
I'm not. I will not say any of them. I will just say we've tried thinking of a better word for it and failed.
Yeah, we failed bad. People at home, you will only hear boob window, and that's it. Plus, I put the image in the video so you can see it. That's it.
Yes.
That's the new look.
And Zan, meanwhile, he's got like a fairly simple white button-up shirt. Sleeves have rolled up thanks to Antler's advice. And sort of like he's he's got he's got slacks on that where it's like they they're vertical stripes, but it's like slightly different shades of black, so it's very subtle. Um, and this sort of greenish vest buttoned up over top, and um, he looks Ansel up and down and gives a smile and says, "Well, that color does look good on you."
And Ansel kind of looks Anne up and down, and hmm, I dare say a vest looks rather good on you as well. Uh, though then Ansel looks at the mirror, and you definitely see that look of oh on his face as he looks at the mirror. Hmm. Yes, I think this one will do.
I think we
Also,
both learned something about ourselves today, haven't we?
hmm, I think so. What I have learned is that you are not wearing those sleeves right. Hold on, I need to fix it. I'm sorry, I need.
And that like Zan is actually laughing at that because oh you ridiculous person.
Listen. The way you have them rolled up, they're gonna wrinkle really bad. They're gonna wrinkle really badly. And like if you fold them like this, now they and you got to make sure that you know they're symmetrical. Otherwise, it's gonna look bad. It's gonna look bad. Also, I have just received a message that the sleeves are called mutton leg sleeves, which I think is the most ridiculous name to call sleeves. But I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, hey, if it works.
Mutton leg or bishop sleeves. One of those. I'm just gonna take your word for it. I'll look it up later.
um and as Ansel is being very serious about correcting his proper sleeve posture, and Zan is just sort of laughing, and after a moment he pauses and goes, "My goodness,
What?
you are a very strange person. You know that?"
Ansel blinks for a moment, and against all odds, that tiny smile comes back. You know, I could say the exact same about you.
Oh, but that's not news.
I do not know if I should be concerned by that, but I suppose it is good that you are self-aware enough to realize it. And again, there's that the smile is turned into a bit of a grin.
Oh my goodness. What a strange world this is.
Hmm.
And after you're done with this leads, Zan he sort of like feels at them just to make sure he like understands what it is you did. Um,
Shit.
well,
Mm.
I I suppose I've kept you rather long.
To be fair, I to be fair, I was the one who showed up to your home rather suddenly.
That is true. You did do that,
Hmm.
and I think I'm within the within reason to say you owe me for helping you.
And Blinks a moment is just I yes, was that
Basically, what I'm saying is you are paying for this, right? I've noticed the price tags, and my
what
goodness, clothes are expensive.
what no, yes, I'm paying for these. That was the plan.
Okay, good. I was trying to be coy about it, but it's a lot. Thank you. Um,
It's occurred to me to ask, do you even have a job?
I'm you could say I'm in sales, as it were. Um, Mostly just sort of making ends meet usually. But business has been picking up, but it's still a little tight.
Are you certain I can't offer you some sort of job?
You need a royal hair cutter at on call.
hardly, hardly, but well, if money is ever a concern, I'm sure there are plenty of people in Little Corner that would gladly pay for the help of a wizard such as yourself.
Kind of you, but I have people who need me in cinema as well.
Well, well, either way, the as your friend, I believe it is natural for wait, not natural. If you do require help of any kind, do not hesitate to ask. And he kind of has that moment of like looking to the side of like, he said that right? Yeah, yeah, he said that right. Did he? He doesn't know how to do this. He's never had a friend before.
Laughs and says, "Well, I tell you the same, but it seems that advice is not needed." So I again, I am I'm glad you thought of me. I'm still not sure why, but I'm glad you did.
Hmm. Well, you see, well, despite all odds, you seem the least likely person to stab me in the back with scissors. That
Goodness.
that did not that came out. I'm realizing how that came out.
Yes, yes. I hoped you would consider how that sounds. It's a little bit worrisome, but also understandable, all things considered.
Hmm. Either way, I will be needing to work on that.
And he has another smile, but it's a little bit sadder. And he goes, I really hope there will come a time where that is not your primary concern, but I understand.
Hmm. There's another look on his face when you say that. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's definitely it's a meaningful one.
Hmm.
Well, with any luck and no small amount of effort on my part, hopefully that day will not be too far. Not too far ahead.
I do hope so.
Hmm. As do
If
I.
nothing else, because, well, I think I like you being Ansel better than anything else I've seen you be.
I think there's. I think you see his ears wiggle a little bit when you say that, and he kind of glances towards the mirror, and it's a very small, subtle wiggle, but you do see them. Hmm. I'm still going to have to get used to being Ansel again, but I I think I will like myself better as Ansel as well.
I think you already do.
Hmm. Well, I would like it more once we've bought these. So that is we've chatted here long enough. Let's go. Right, and he's just gonna awkwardly. Well, I mean, for anyone who like doesn't know him, this guy is walking with just absolute poise and straight face. But you, Zan, who've spent some time around the fella, realize that oh no, he's feeling Ansel's feeling a bit awkward, so he's walking away from this conversation.
Um, and yeah, I think he just laughs and follows because wow. Wow, what a weird world this is indeed.
A very weird world, but not an unwelcome one.
No, not in the slightest.
Oh man,
Um, do we want to end it there? I feel like that's a kind of delightful note to end it on.
I feel like that's a very good place to end it on as well. But yeah, from from the antlered king to antler to now Ansel King. It's taken a year, but we got there.
We did it. We got to Ansel King.
Man, God,
Oh man.
can I
Oh,
God just take a moment? It's been a roller coaster playing this guy.
I am so proud of him.
I am also proud of him. Again, I do need to preface that the realization. I don't think I actually said what realization Antler had at the end of the TMV game. The realization was that before it was a case of he couldn't willingly be the Antlered King anymore, uh, but now it's a case of not only do I not want to be the Antlered King anymore, I want to be better. I want to be a better person. This is the realization that Ansel had.
I am so proud of this man.
Yeah.
He has come again, it has been a year, but also all things considered, he's gotten there a lot faster than he could have.
Oh, for sure. I can't preface how like this is a lot faster than I was expecting. Granted, there were a lot of there are a lot of things that happened that I wasn't expecting either that made it possible.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of it,
Oh,
a huge chunk of it was has to do just with the people he has been surrounded by in this past year.
yeah, yeah. It makes all the difference. Having the right folks, and oh man, oh boy,
Yeah, yeah.
oh,
And he's very aware now that he is surrounded by the right folks. And oh boy, feelings.
there are feelings here.
Oh yeah, there are feelings there, all right.
But yeah, all that being said, my God, we climbed this whole mountain.
God, we
There's
did.
there's still another a few more mountains to climb, but we climbed this one,
We
and
climbed this one.
oh, look at that view.
They're
Look,
friends. Look at this mountain of friendship. It's good.
it's so
It's a
good.
very
I'm
nice view
I'm
from up
so
here.
pleased. Thank you, our for Fable, for taking me on this journey of gay old men, and thank you, listening audience, for joining us on this adventure of gay old men
Yup.
that we love.
Yep, we love him so much. Thank you, Uni, for for joining me on this gay on this gay old adventure.
Hurrah!
Hurrah! But yeah, that was Toonkind 12 FPS, gray sweaters and a haircut, 2 bits.
2 bits.
God, yeah. So until next time, thank you all for
Till next
listening,
time.
and yeah,
Love.
bye.
Bye.